The Equestria Inquirer is brought to you this week by the Appaloosa State Fair, going on this Friday through Sunday, only in Appaloosa. Well, of course it's in Appaloosa, it's right in the name.
Flutterbat, your kind doesn't belong here.
It was not by my hoof that I am now this creature of darkness. I was made this way by friends who wanted me to get rid of some innocent creatures.
What? You drink apple souls and make them nothing but mush.
Perhaps the same can be said of all apple growers.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Ponykind ill needs a helper such as you.
So what exactly is an apple? A miserable little pile of fruit pulp. But enough talk. How about you?
Good evening, Ponyville! A new menace has struck Sweet Apple Acres. Ponies everywhere are waiting in fear of a new cider shortage, and Pinkie Pie has figured the only way to save Equestria's apples from this new menace is to drill baby drill. I'm Mason Alcat, and this is the Equestria Inquirer.
Do you like huge fruit, rickety rides, and appearances by none other than Ponyville founder Granny Smith? Well, come on down to the Appaloosa State Fair this weekend. We've got all that stuff, plus possibly an additional thing. We just became a town a couple of years ago, so we might not have all the elaborate and fun attractions your big fancy Canterlot fairs have, but we do have big fruit. Not Canterlot Fair big, but they spell fair with an E. We can't compete with that. We'll never compete with that. So come on down to the Appaloosa State Fair, where we're giving out free corn dogs to yearlings and victims of terrible, terrible dunk tank mishaps. Limit 1 free corn dog per visit, per mishap, per pony, per fair, per state, per Appaloosa. In other words, you only get once, to save it for when you really need to pick you up with a stick-based cornbread treat.
Tough story. Apple bucking season is upon us, and as the Apple family gears up for a new fresh season of apples, there is still much to fear. More importantly, some pony to fear. Who is that some pony? Why, none other than their friend, Fluttershy, or Flutterbats as she is now known. The once thought shy pony with the love of animals has become an evil creature with a love for the blood of apples. Her friends can do nothing but watch in horror as thousands of helpless apples are mercilessly slaughtered by this fruit-eating fiend. After asking her friends just what happened, their first reaction was to say, "We just don't know what went wrong." But after a further investigation of the incident, their friend's transformation is the indirect misuse of the stare, along with a will-changing spell cast by Princess Twilight Sparkle in an attempt to get fruit bats to stop eating fruit. Many in Equestria are still puzzled as to why such a spell even exists. Applejack is beside herself knowing that she was the reason for making her friend turn into a fruit-thirsty demon. Time to light the torches and pitchforks. And pick up your pitchforks. Fluttershy must be stopped before all of Equestria's apples fall into her insatiable appetite.
Hello, everypony. This is Starlit Flame, the recently independent former intern of Weather Stallion Hackalot Spark. Hack did, in fact, allow me to leave with his blessing, but not after he accidentally did this to me. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am currently a bat pony due to out-of-control spur-of-the-moment spell. But hey, it's not as bad as ponies might think. I haven't had any cravings for apples or anything of that sort, and as far as I know, I don't have fangs. But, enough of my personal problems. Let's get to the news. Covered up by the barrage of media coverage on the Flutterbat phenomenon, Rainbow Dash has recently been sent to rehab in Cloudsdale concerning her cider addiction. This reporter was able to solicit comments from the former Element of Loyalty's friends concerning said out-of-control addiction. I honestly couldn't believe that Rainbow Dash could have slipped that far. I did everything in the book to keep her in line. Well, save from a spell that would curb her appetite for cider? Rainbow always seemed to be such a responsible pony when it came to her drinking habits. I suppose I was wrong. Oh, I knew all about Dashy's problem. That's why I bought all the cider. Applejack and Fluttershy were unavailable for comment due to the aforementioned incident. However, Rainbow Dash herself was able to issue a statement from her rehab facility in Cloudsdale. She is recorded as saying, quote, "As soon as cider season starts, I'm busting out of this joint. They can't keep me in here forever." Good luck to you, Dashy. And, you think not so bad. Maybe I'll keep them. Back to you, Mason.
A new cider shortage has many in Ponyville worried, including local cider connoisseur Rainbow Dash. Cider has always been in short supply in Ponyville ever since the Great Apple Shortage of the late 1830s. A taste of this great beverage is known as getting a taste of what heaven feels like, if heaven were an apple fruit flavored beverage. Seeing as Flutterbat and the Vampire Bats are to blame for this recent shortage, Sweet Apple Acre residents have come up with a new plan to stop the vampire fruit bats before they can destroy what is left of the crop of this year. They plan to outsmart the bats by having Pinkie Pie dress up as a giant apple and lead them straight into Tartarus, where they will become food for the beasts that live there. What will happen to Flutterbats is any pony's guess. Applejack assures us that they will have a great cider season if this plan works. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breezy Mist coming to you here from Ponyville. I've just heard an eyewitness account from a certain baby dragon that there is a spell that can literally change minds. With such a powerful spell, ponies have begun to worry that this could fall into the wrong hooves. This enchantment isn't any new development, as it was spotted once before during the Parasprite crisis a few years ago. Both times, this spell was seen used by the newly crowned royal Twilight Sparkle, who is known to own quite a lot of spell books in her Ponyville library. While it has only been used on small animals such as parasprites and fruit bats before, the so-called Flutterbat incident proves that its effects can take place on ponies as well, even without the victim knowing themselves. This spell modifies a creature's desires and behaviors, which is a very daunting prospect. In the past, Discord has shown his various powers through changing the landscape of an area, but also with some of these same mind-changing activities. These similar behaviors raise an important question. During his takeover of Equestria, did Discord use spells such as the Desire-changing one to ensure his power and stop ponies from fighting back? Even more alarmingly, it can be wondered that if this could be how he got Fluttershy to take his side in keeping his freedom. Is Discord still a menace to our society, and should we be letting him roam free? Just a few more troubling things to think about. Now back to you, Mason.
Pinkie Pie has long since been known for her insane answers to everyday problems. Her latest proposal to save the trees of the Sweet Apple Acres is to have them grow undergrounds. By her logic, if the vampire bats cannot see the apples, they cannot eat them. There are a few problems with this, as Applejack later pointed out. First off, trees need sunlight to grow. And secondly, they would need 1,000 Pinkie Pies or more to dig tunnels massive enough to hold the trees, and going back to the mirror pole is just out of question. Thank you for watching the Equestria Inquirer. Good night and good luck.